Today, we delve into the top 10 most gruesome and lesser-known medieval torture devices, each more horrifying than the last. Stay with us as we journey from the least to the most excruciating, ensuring you won't want to miss the final, most dreadful method. 10. The thumbscrew. We begin with the thumbscrew, a seemingly simple yet profoundly painful device. Originating in the medieval period, this instrument was designed to extract confessions or punish individuals by inflicting intense pain on their fingers or toes. The device consisted of a metal vise with protruding studs on the interior surfaces. The victim's digits were placed between these surfaces, and as the screw was tightened, the pressure would increase, leading to severe pain and eventual crushing of bones. The psychological torment of watching the device being prepared was often enough to elicit confessions, even before any physical pain was inflicted. Its portability and straightforward design made it a favored tool among inquisitors and torturers across medieval Europe. 9. The tongue tearer. Next is the tongue tearer, a device specifically crafted to punish those guilty of blasphemy, heresy, or spreading falsehoods. During the Middle Ages, the spoken word held significant power, and controlling speech was paramount. The tongue tearer was a metal instrument resembling iron tongs, designed to grasp and immobilize the tongue. Once secured, a swift pull would result in the complete removal of the tongue. This brutal act not only inflicted excruciating pain, but also ensured the victim could no longer speak, serving as a permanent reminder of their transgression. The public nature of this punishment acted as a deterrent, emphasizing the severe consequences of misusing one's words. 8. The heretic's fork. The heretic's fork was a diabolical instrument used predominantly during the Spanish Inquisition to deter heresy and enforce religious conformity. This device consisted of a two-pronged fork, with one end pressed under the victim's chin and the other against their sternum. Secured by a leather strap around the neck, it prevented any movement of the head. The sharp prongs would pierce the flesh with any attempt to lower the head or speak, causing immense pain. Victims were often left in this position for extended periods, leading to sleep deprivation, as any relaxation would result in further injury. The psychological torment, combined with physical pain, made the heretic's fork a feared tool among those accused of deviating from accepted religious practices. 7. The Iron Maiden. The Iron Maiden stands as one of the most infamous symbols of medieval cruelty, though its actual use is a subject of debate among historians. This device was an iron cabinet, human-sized and shaped, with a hinged front and interior studded with sharp spikes. The victim would be forced inside, and as the door closed, the spikes would pierce their body in non-lethal areas, ensuring a prolonged and agonizing death. The design was such that the wounds wouldn't be immediately fatal, prolonging suffering. While some argue that the Iron Maiden was more a product of myth than a commonly used torture device, its representation has endured as a testament to the dark ingenuity of medieval torturers. 6. The wheel. Also known as the breaking wheel, this method was reserved for the most heinous criminals and was both a torture device and an execution method. The victim would be tied to a large wooden wheel, with their limbs stretched out along the spokes. Executioners would then use heavy iron bars to methodically shatter the victim's bones, starting from the legs and working their way up. After the bones were broken, the mutilated body, still alive, would be woven through the wheel's spokes and hoisted onto a pole for public display. This served as a gruesome warning to others. Death could take hours or even days, depending on the injuries and the victim's resilience. The breaking wheel was not only a method of execution, but also a tool of psychological terror, reinforcing the power of authorities through sheer brutality. 5. Rat torture. Rat torture exemplifies the depths of human cruelty and ingenuity in inducing fear and pain. This method involved placing a live rat onto the victim's abdomen, covered by a metal container to prevent its escape. Heat was then applied to the container, causing the rat to panic and seek a way out. Driven by instinct, the rat would gnaw through the victim's flesh, burrowing into the body to escape the heat. This process caused unimaginable internal injuries and excruciating pain. The psychological horror of anticipating the rat's actions added an additional layer of torment. While not as commonly documented as other methods, rat torture remains one of the most gruesome techniques conceived during the medieval period. The brazen bull. The brazen bull, also known as the bronze bull, was an execution device that showcased both cruelty and a macabre sense of artistry. Originating in ancient Greece, it gained notoriety during the medieval period. The device was a hollow brass statue crafted in the shape of a bull, large enough to enclose a human being. Victims were locked inside, and a fire was set beneath the bull, heating the metal until the person inside was roasted alive. Ingeniously, the bull was designed with a system of tubes and stops that converted the victim's screams into sounds resembling a bull's bellowing, providing a gruesome form of entertainment for spectators. The brazen bull was not just an instrument of death, but also a tool of psychological warfare, demonstrating the lengths to which rulers would go to instill fear and maintain control. The Pear of Anguish. The Pear of Anguish was a grotesque device designed to punish those accused of blasphemy, heresy, or perceived immoral behavior. This metal contraption was shaped like a closed flower bud and was inserted into the mouth or other bodily openings, depending on the nature of the crime. Once in place, a screw mechanism was turned, causing the device to expand outward, stretching and tearing delicate tissues. The pain was unimaginable, and in some cases, the injuries sustained would lead to infection and a slow, agonizing death. While its actual historical usage is debated, the Pear of Anguish remains a terrifying example of medieval cruelty and inventive brutality. 2. The Judas Cradle. The Judas Cradle was a method of torture that inflicted prolonged suffering while also delivering an unbearable psychological ordeal. Victims were stripped and suspended by ropes over a wooden pyramid with a sharp, pointed tip. They were then gradually lowered onto the tip, which pressed into their most sensitive and vulnerable areas. The pressure alone caused extreme pain, but the real horror lay in the slow descent, controlled by the executioners. Some victims endured hours or even days of agony, their bodies progressively succumbing to infection and exhaustion. It was a method designed to degrade and torment, ensuring that death, when it finally came, was a mercy. 1. The saw. Finally, we arrive at the most excruciating method on this list, the saw. This execution technique was as gruesome as it was effective in prolonging suffering. The victim was hung upside down, which ensured that blood continued to flow to the brain, preventing them from passing out too quickly. Executioners would then take a large two-man saw and begin cutting from between the legs, working their way downward. The victim remained conscious for much of the process, feeling every brutal movement of the serrated blade. This method was often used on those accused of witchcraft, treason, or serious crimes, ensuring their deaths were both horrifying and unforgettable for any onlookers. The medieval period was rife with terror, where justice was often synonymous with suffering. These torture devices serve as a haunting reminder of the extreme measures used to control, punish, and instill fear. While we may look back in horror, it's crucial to remember that history teaches us not just about the past, but about the progress humanity has made. If you found this exploration chilling yet fascinating, be sure to like this video, subscribe for more deep dives into history's darkest moments, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, stay curious. And perhaps a little grateful for modern times.